you're looking for me in a book, this is generally where I can be found. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife and today I'm talking you through some of the bookish tropes that I am absolutely drawn to. If I see these anywhere in the description, on the cover, on the back cover, I'm in. It doesn't matter what the book is about, I'm in. I want to read it. The first one up is a only one bed trope or a forced proximity trope. I love the thing where characters are kind of forced together to spend more time with each other, to thaw the ice that's between the two of them. And if you throw in that there is only one bed, that there's only one place for them to sleep, it's just even better for me. I don't know what it is about that trope that really speaks to me. I think it's the idea of them spending more time together, and as they start spending more time together and as they start seeing what the other person is really like, that things generally start to pick up from there. And it's something that I just love reading, when that little switch flips in their mind and when the little light bulb goes off. Something else that I love reading is a book about a returning immigrant, somebody who has left their home country, has gone out into the world, has traveled, has done all of that, and then comes back home. And they see how different the world is that they have left behind. They see that their families have kind of moved on to new lives, that their friends have started having families or have started new relationships or a new job or have even moved town, home, country, city. I really love that aspect of trying to establish yourself in a world where you felt like you already knew, you felt like you had already belonged there, and then you come back after XYZ amount of years and you realize that this might not be the place that you remember it to be anymore, and maybe you're looking at it through rose-tinted glasses. As an immigrant, it's really something that speaks to me because it might be something that's in my future. At the moment, it's not something that I've ever even considered to go back home to Ireland, but it might end up 20, 30, 40 years down the line being something that I end up doing, that I end up going back to Ireland. And the country's going to be a completely different place, and the people that I know might be in completely different places, physically or metaphorically. So it's something that I like reading so that I can prepare myself for. Something else that I love to read is a found family trope. You can't always pick your family, but you can pick your friends, and that is something that I love reading in books. Families don't always get along together. Families can butt heads over the biggest things or the smallest things. And you hear quite a lot about people going no contact or low contact with their family for any number of reasons. So when you're hearing about characters who are going through that thing in a book, and you see themselves establishing a family of people that they have met while they are on their journey, or people that they've worked with, or people that they live with, I absolutely love reading that. It's also something that I've noticed I love seeing in movies or in TV shows. Like, some of my favorite TV shows are actually about a found family situation. Things like New Girl, things like Derry Girls, things like Friends, where it's a group of friends who are all kind of coming together as each other's support system, as each other's relief system. So that is definitely something that I look out for in any type of media. A kind of weird one on the list is twins. I am a single birth. I was a single birth. And for some reason, I just always wanted to be a twin. I always wanted to have somebody who had grown up literally right beside me. I wanted somebody who was the same age as me. We were going through the same life stages together. When my younger brother was born, I had this idea that he would come out fully formed as a human of the exact same age, type, size as I was. Naturally, there's a bit of an age gap between us, so that didn't happen. But I think that was just my inner want of having a twin screaming out at me that that's what was going to happen. So, when I can, I like to read books about twins, about that really inseparable bond that quite a lot of twins would have, the kind of almost telepathic things that they have between each other, the kind of inside jokes, the things that maybe a single birth sibling will not understand about having a twin and how much closer that bond can be. It's definitely something that I reach out for in books, and it's definitely something that has made me enjoy books a little bit more just because one of the characters was a twin. Something else that I really love to read, and I haven't read a lot of it since, mainly because these aren't the type of books that I reach for anymore, is a YA book that isn't very heavily based around a romance. I wasn't in any relationships as a teenager, so seeing all of these teenagers in all of these different relationships, like a different one every day of the week, it felt disingenuous to me. It felt like something that I couldn't connect with, and it felt like something that was completely out of reach of the teenagehood that I was going through. So when you're reading a book and the characters are actually focusing on themselves, on their own personal growth, on their friendships, on academia, on furthering themselves in any kind of a way that didn't involve a relationship, I loved reading it. I loved seeing it. I know that the book Girlhood by Kat Clark kind of touches on that a little bit, and I was really, really glad to see that, because it felt like something that the book didn't need to have to further on any of the plot. It just flowed so well for me. One of my big favorite tropes to read, in fact, one that if a book is this trope, I will pick it up when questions asked, is fake dating. I don't even know what it is about fake dating. I think it's just the idea that it's so far-fetched for real life. There are so few instances where fake dating is even necessary in real life. Things like, oh, I need to bring somebody to my sister's wedding because my ex-boyfriend's going to be there and I don't want him to see me alone. Or I need to bring somebody to my cousin's wedding so that my family aren't always going to be asking me, oh, when are you going to get married? Oh, are you next? Oh, what's going on with you? That's the only reason that I can think that you would bring somebody in a fake dating situation. Anything else doesn't really add up. So I love seeing all of these kinds of far-fetched reasons why people go into fake dating situations, why people start up these kind of contracts that they have with each other. Sometimes it's just so far-fetched, but it's so much fun that it just makes it such a great book for me. Something else that I love to read about is friends to lovers romances. I feel like this is one of the more realistic tropes that you will read. There are so many relationships in my life that I know of where the couple started out as really good friends and then somewhere down the line they registered that there was a little bit deeper feelings there. So seeing these kind of relationships and seeing how the bond can deepen and can develop and can build over the course of the book is such a comforting and heartwarming thing to see. But it's one of the tropes where I never really want to see a third act conflict. I never want to see them having worked out their feelings and having found out that they love each other so deeply, and then something happens to put that into jeopardy. It's not something that I want to see happen, but it is something that does happen now and then. The final trope that I love reading is picking yourself back up after a breakup. This is something that happened to me a couple of years ago, and it's something that I feel so strongly about because it's something that I can connect with. I moved city. I started a new job. I found new friends. I found a new home. And it's something that impacted me so much that seeing other characters go through it really does give me the feeling of, if I can do it, so can they. If they can do it, so can I. It's such a heartwarming thing to see somebody kind of being at the lowest ebb of their life, feeling that things are just never going to go their way, that things are completely off course from where they thought they were going to be, and that they have to start all over again. And then everything turns around, and then the sun starts shining again. And it's such a wonderful thing to see them realizing this. I just really love reading about people whose lives are so brought back on track like that. Those are just some of the tropes and things that I really love reading in books. What are some of the tropes that you love, or some of the tropes that you have found yourself reaching for the most? If you'd love to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then just leave me the green tick emoji. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.